So maybe on the third tapestry I won't mess up any spelling. He's looking so funny. Viz Tiors. I think I might be dyslexic. So it says do not disturb. Why is there a base on the T? That's wrong. That's an I. Finish the last row. And it was so close. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Eli and I'm a crochet artist working on building my small business. I sell most of my pieces and patterns over on my Etsy, and I post weekly videos here on YouTube. So for this week's video, I've got a couple tapestries I wanted to make, so I thought I would bring you guys through the process of making them from start to finish, fully designing it, and then crocheting the actual tapestry. I'm going to be making either 2 or 3 tapestries, I'm not sure. They're going to be fairly small ones because I'm going to be making little signs for my door. So I just moved back into my parents' house and I have a lot of siblings that live here with me. There are actually 9 other family members that live in this house with me. And so people are often at my door, especially my younger brothers. It can be a little tricky for them sometimes knowing whether or not it's a good time to knock on my door because my sleep schedule is basically the opposite of theirs. So there's times they'll come down thinking they can come hang out with me and I'm having a nap or I'm sleeping. So I thought it would make it a little bit easier for them if I had some clear signs on my door that says whether or not it's a good time to like knock and come on in and hang out. So the first tapestry that I'm definitely making is a do not disturb sign. So it's going to say do not disturb recording in progress. I actually just found a picture online that I thought would match it perfectly. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be copying it basically straight from this picture online. Just a basic do not disturb sign. The second one I wanted to make is a sign to say that I'm sleeping. I was thinking of saying like shh, taking a nap, but I haven't fully decided what that's going to be yet. So that one we'll be working on next. And then if I do make a third one, I want it to say something that says like come on in, but I don't know what it'll say, so I'll decide that one later. So I am fairly new to making tapestries still. I think I've made 3 or 4 maybe at this point. The last one I made was a Vans tapestry for my dad because he loves collecting Vans. So this is the graph that I made up for it. So basically all I did was just sketched out what I want it to look like, filled in all of the spaces, and then I just referred to this when I was making my tapestry. I've made a couple from grids or graphs that I found online and that worked well too. So for the do not disturb sign, I've already started sketching out what I want it to look like. So I've got the words just sketched out here and I started to fill in a couple of the letters. So I just need to finish filling in the squares for all of the letters, figure out how wide and how tall it's going to be, and then I'll be able to start working on it. So when I was first learning to make tapestries, the YouTube video that I found most helpful was by Blondie Knots, Dana, just here on YouTube. So I think I'll link that one in the description, but her video tutorial on like all things tapestries was so helpful for starting. So if anyone else here is just learning to make tapestries or hasn't made any but would like to, I definitely recommend checking out her channel and her tutorials because it was so helpful. All right, I finished sketching out my graph. So I filled in the squares around each letter and made sure that the spacing was even. I did notice that my spacing was not even at all on the word here, progress. I had 5 spaces on this side and 10 on that side. So I just put a couple arrows, which I know is going to mean that I need to adjust those letters slightly when I'm making it. So it'll end up being 8 spaces on this side, 7 on that side, and I'm good with that. I wrote out how many stitches and how many rows it's going to be. So it's going to be 57 stitches total and then 31 rows. So it's not going to be too big, just a small sign to do on my door. So I'll probably finish this tonight, if not tomorrow. But yeah, that is done, so I can actually start crocheting now. For this tapestry, I'm going to be using a 5mm hook, which is what I've done for every tapestry that I've done so far. I find that works well for me. I do have a fairly loose tension I found, but a 5mm is tight enough for me. But I just remembered for the starting chain, I always like to size up my hook, just that way my chain is not too tight, because if your chain's too tight, then your first row is going to be squished a bit. We don't want that. So I always size up my hook 1 full size. So I'm going to use a 6mm for the chain, and then I'll do the rest of it in a 5mm, and that usually works pretty good for me. Now for some projects that start with chains, I end up just doing a foundation single crochet instead, or I'll do foundation half double, double, whatever the pattern's starting with. But I do find that my single crochets look just slightly different than the other single crochets when I do a foundation single crochet. So that's totally fine for most things that I do, but for a tapestry, I'm very particular with how I want my stitches to look. So I don't do that foundation single crochet. I just do a regular foundation chain and just have one extra step. All right, I've got my chain of 58. So I'm gonna switch over to my 5mm and start on my tapestry. All right, I just finished off another episode of Fallout, so here's where we're at. So I'm making my way up the word progress, and I think I'm making very good progress on it. So that's where we're at so far. I think that's 8 rows so far out of 31. So I definitely won't be finishing it tonight. I'm sure I'll finish it tomorrow though. My goal is to get through the bottom 3 words, so recording in progress, which will get me about to the halfway point. So I guess 15 to 16 rows is my goal for tonight. Just finished episode 3 of Fallout, still great. It's definitely like a dumb show, but like in a funny way, you know? like it's dumb humor on purpose, and there's some interesting characters. But episode 3 is done. This is where I'm at. I did another 4 rows, I think. So I finished off the word progress, and I got the first 2 rows done of recording in. So I think it's looking pretty good so far. I'll check in once the next episode is done, and hopefully I'll have the rest of recording in done, but we'll see. I just finished episode 4, and I finished the first half of the tapestry. I think some of the letters look really good and some of them are great. Mostly the R's and the S's, because those are really hard to do so short. What I've done on some of the tapestries before that had letters, I just took some extra thread at the end and then just went over some of the letters to clean up some of them. So I think I'll do that on this, just to make some of the letters a little bit more distinct. But that's what I'm going to leave off for tonight. It's not even midnight, but I am so tired, so I'm gonna sleep. I don't normally sleep this early, but I woke up early, so yeah, I'm gonna leave off on that tonight, and then I will finish the rest of it tomorrow. Hey guys, it is the next day, so I'm gonna continue working on the tapestry, and I do think I'll be able to finish it in the next couple hours, because I just need to get the last section done, which just says do not disturb. I'm gonna try out a different camera angle. I wanna see if I can get an angle where you can see me crocheting, like from the back. But if you don't see that angle, it's because it didn't work. So we'll see if that works. Okay, so I just finished up the last row of the words, and I realized that I accidentally put a line on top of the U and made it into an O. So it says, do not disturb. Do not disturb. So I'm just gonna take that out. At least it was only 1 row that I have to take out. It wasn't like the beginning of the letters or something. Because as I was doing this, I was like, I really hope I didn't spell any of these words wrong. And I looked at the U and I was like, that's not a U, that's an O. That's an O. Hey guys, I think it's been a couple days since I've checked in. Today is January 5th, and I did finish the base of my tapestry. I weaved in all of the ends and trimmed them all yesterday. So it's looking really good. And I also added on all of the embroidery to fix up a few of the letters. So I think the big ones would probably be the S's and the R's. So looking at like do not disturb, I think that's easier and clearer to read now. I do find when I'm doing this, I have to try not to be a perfectionist because my instinct is just to go over every single part of every letter. And if I'm gonna do that, there's no point in even doing a tapestry. I should just surface crochet the letters on. But I don't want to do that. I just want to fix up a couple little spots. So I tried my best to do that and I think it's looking good. All I need to do now is just make the border and then block it eventually. So I've got my black yarn, which I did cake up. I don't know if I've shown you guys this yet, but when I cake up yarn, I like to put the label on the inside. So that way I know which yarn it is. And also so that when I'm tracking how much I used the month, I can keep the labels and at the end of the month have like 20 labels or whatever. So I just need to add on this border now and then block it. Who knows when I'll actually be finished, because I'll finish the border in 10 minutes, but it's gonna be a little bit before I block it. So the reason I didn't check in yesterday was because I didn't feel like it, but I was out at a concert with my parents and my youngest brother. We got to see Walk Off the Earth again, which is one of my favorite bands, so that was super awesome. And the seats were fully accessible. It's the first concert that I've gone to where I've used my wheelchair, so I was a little bit nervous about that, not knowing how accessible the venue was gonna be, how good the seats were gonna be, like good as in like, will I be able to get my wheelchair to them? Am I gonna be able to sit in my wheelchair or have a chair? Like, my parents thought of all of it beforehand and made sure they got the accessible seats, and the venue was completely accessible. We were able to use my wheelchair no problem, bring it right up to the seats, and I ended up just sitting in my wheelchair because it gave me a better spot than if I was just sitting in the actual chair. But it was great seating. We were so close, probably the closest I've been to one of their concerts, and I've been to I think 5 of their concerts, I think. So that was really cool to see, and it was really good to be able to have a good experience and use the mobility aids that I need to use. I did bring my cane, which is a foldable cane, so I had it in my bag just in case I couldn't get my wheelchair right to the seats. I would have been fine to walk a little bit, but it worked perfect with no problem, so that was a really good experience. And the tickets were my Christmas present, so overall just awesome. So I'm gonna continue working on this border and I'll show you guys once the border is done. All right, the black border is done. So I'll see you guys whenever I start the second tapestry. Hey guys, it is January 6th and I'm just checking in because I'm ready to start my next tapestry. So yesterday I worked up the graph for it. So here's the graph that I worked up. So it says the visitors welcome, please knock. I'm really happy with how this one is because I lined up both edges perfectly. So I think that's super cool. I did use a blue highlighter for it, but I'm gonna be using green and white yarn, I'm thinking. I think I wanna make this one primarily green because I have a lot of green yarn. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is do most of the background green and then the letters in white, I think, because I have green and white. I also have a lot of like yellow and orange, but I just don't really like that with the green. I think the green and white will look better. And then I might do a black border, same as the other one. All I need to do now is just count up how wide it's gonna be, and then I can start. So we're gonna work on that now. So I'm just checking in because I'm working on the last row of the please knock section. So once I finish this last row of green, I'll be able to start working on the next word, which is welcome. But once I finish this, I am gonna take a little break and get a snack because I'm feeling a little hungry. Hey guys, I'm back. I ended up taking about like a 3-hour break, I think. Ate some dinner, worked on a puzzle a bit, and then watched Wall-E with my 2 youngest brothers. So I'm just getting back to working on this tapestry, starting on the word welcome. So I'm just about to add my white back in. I love how the back of tapestries look. I just think it looks cool. So I'm gonna keep working on this and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. All right, I am just finishing up the word that I was working on. I'm just finishing up welcome. So let me show you. Welcome. And I think the W and the M's worked really good. Like all of the letters look good, but I'm really happy with the W and M because I wasn't sure how they would turn out. Just because it's hard sometimes to see a graph versus crochet because it's not like each stitch is a perfect square. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm just working on the 2 rows of green that are going to go in between it, and then I'm going to work on the next start of the last word, which is visitors, and that one is going to be a little more difficult. This one was so easy because almost every row was just doing the exact same thing. It was just the E's once in a while. I did a row there, and then the W and the M, but otherwise, like, most of it was just doing stitches on top of stitches. So I'm just going to keep working on these rows of green and then start on the last section. Definitely finishing this one tonight. Okay guys, this is part 2 of me spelling up because I'm on row 4, I think. Yeah, I'm on row 4 of working on the word visitors. I just realized that I mixed up the I and the T, and I do this all the time in speaking and spelling and writing. I switched the placement of the letters, but if you can see V-I-S, viz, I, that should be an I, and then there should be a T, O-R-S, visitors, but I wrote yours. Maybe you'll see here. I mean, maybe by this point in the video, you guys already noticed this and are screaming at me, you're spelling it wrong, but yours. At least I didn't finish it and then notice because that would have sucked. But I'm gonna take out 4.5 rows and fix that. All right, I just finished it. Visitors, welcome. Knock, please. Please knock. That's what it says. I think it looks really good. I really like the size of this. It's what I originally imagined for the first one, and I think it's about how tall it would have turned out if I had done Do Not Disturb on 2 things. But I think on the first one I had the big lettering on 1 row and the small lettering on 2 rows, and it switched for this one. But I'm really happy with this. There's a few letters that I'm going to adjust a little bit. Basically anything that had like a sharp, not a sharp line, like a diagonal line. So the V's, the S's, the K's, and the R's probably. I think I'll fix up those, like especially the V here. I don't love that. And the K's for the knock. I think almost every word in knock I wanted to do a little fixing on. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try not to be a perfectionist and not overdo it because I could literally spend hours doing it. I don't want to do that.
Put your hands on mine, and put your lips on mine, and move, 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 move with your body. Just put your hands on mine, and put your lips on mine, and move, 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 move with my body. So sweet, so
Alright guys, I officially finished it. I decided to go with this pretty white scalloped border because I just thought that this one was like, it felt like a pretty welcome sign. You know, like a little welcome mat that you'd have at your front door, and I thought the scalloped edge just added to that. So I think definitely the right move to go with a white border instead of a black one. So I'm super happy with it. I already woven all of the ends as well. And this one is a lot straighter than the other one. Like there's a little bit of warping at the bottom, I think, but most of it I was able to maintain a very similar tension through the whole thing, which is really good. So I'm really happy with that. I'm probably still gonna block it anyway just so that it's perfectly flat when it's on my door. And I've got the first one here. So this one's definitely more warped all over than this one. But I think this is a very clear sign of don't want to talk to people. I'm okay to talk to people, but knock first. It's perfect. I'm actually really happy with these. So now I just have to figure out what to do for the third one of no knocking, I'm sleeping. But I like it. I'm happy with this. Hey guys, it is the next day. It's January 7th, and I've just been trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the third tapestry, because I've been back and forth debating if I wanted to make it or not, but I felt like just making the two, like I wanted to have three. Two didn't feel like enough. So I wrote out the graph for the words because I had an idea of doing like the nap time, do not disturb, and then having a picture in the middle so that it was a little bit more interesting than just having the words like my other ones. I'm looking over there because that's where my other ones are. So I wrote out the do not disturb nap time. I did it backwards by accident. I want nap time to be on the top, and then I'll do not disturb at the bottom. And then I was just scrolling through Pinterest to find what image I wanted to have in the middle, and I've decided I'm gonna do this one. So it's gonna say nap time at the top and then do not disturb. I think that's pretty accurate to how I feel when I'm trying to have a nap and when I wake up from a nap, and like most of the time. Hey guys, I've been working on the do not disturb part and I finished it. As you can see, I decided to go with black for the letters and red for the background because this is all the white I had left. So it wasn't going to be enough to do the letters, so I decided to do the letters in black instead. And then I'm going to use the white to do a little bit of an outline around the frog. And then I might do the border in white, depending on how much the frog takes. So yeah, I'm gonna start on the frog now, and then I'll check in a little bit. So I've started on the frog, and this is what my yarn is looking like. I don't know how to keep it untangled, and I don't care to. I don't have the patience to care. So I'm just gonna let it get tangled, and then I'll snip it when it annoys me. This is what I've got of the frog so far. It's using so much of my brain. It's so thick here. Like, look at all of the yarn. I'm not very good at like stitching over the yarn. I know how to carry it. I just can't remember what the other word is. Like when you crochet over it as you go. Floating, maybe? Or I think this is floating and the other one is carrying it over. I don't remember. Either way, I'm not very good at that. You can see mine has a lot of lines. It's easy when it's two colors. As soon as it hits three, I get so confused so fast of which one I'm supposed to crochet over. But I'm doing my best, and hopefully blocking will fix it. Hopefully. Alright, just checking in because I'm partway through the frog. He's looking so funny. This has been so difficult to do because I didn't print out the graph because I can't access a printer this late at night. It's like midnight now or something. But so I've just been using my phone, just like scrolling on it. And I had to edit the design a little bit, change colors. So I'm having to like remember changing colors. And I added this white border, so I'm having to remember that. And it's so much brain power. But anyway, he's looking cute and funny, and yep. Hey guys, it's the next day. This is where I left off on the frog yesterday. He is looking so cursed and I love him. I'm a little bit worried about the amount of red that I have left. It's on the floor so I can't grab it. But I'm going to shorten up the nap time part and put nap time in one line instead of having it in two different lines. This is how I planned it, but I'm going to just adjust the sizing so it's nap time in one line just to make sure I have enough red to actually finish it. Because I have a massive yarn order coming in the next 2 days, but there's no red in it. I'm hoping there's white. I'm pretty sure I ordered white. I might not have. But anyway, there's no red coming in, and I would like to be able to finish this and not have to redo any of it. So I'm going to just shorten that up. But that's what he's looking like. Yesterday while I was working on it, I finished watching Fallout. I didn't realize there was only one season and that the season was so short. So I finished it. It was okay. I never played the game, so I think if I had played it, I might have enjoyed it a bit more or thought it was cooler. Like, it was definitely a cool idea and the characters were interesting, but I do not like shows when there's only one season or when like there's only like 8 episodes. I like things when there's multiple seasons and like 20 or more episodes per season. Like, you really get to like enjoy the show. Like 8 episodes, I don't know, it feels like reading like half a book, you know? But I saw that there might be a season 2 coming out or something. I don't know. I might watch it, might not, whenever it eventually comes out. But I finished that, so I'm gonna be just watching some YouTube today while I continue working on this. I've got a new Passionate Kelsey vlog to watch, and it's a 40-minute vlog, so that's awesome. Hers are normally, I think, 20 to 30 minutes, so 40-minute vlog is great. And I'm gonna continue working on this frog. I'm in the easy part now. All I need to do is just finish the bump of his head, and I'm gonna make him kind of short again because of the red. I don't want to run out of red, so I'm gonna give him like just like that, baby. Just a short little head. All right, I'm working on the words. I've got nap time. I'm almost done. I think I'm on the last row of the words. This is all the red I have left, so I'm really hoping it lasts long enough to finish this last row of the words and then do at least 1 row of a border. I wish I didn't do the 3 rows at the bottom. I just didn't realize how much red I was going to use in this. But like, duh, I did the whole background in red. But we're going to keep doing that. If I don't end up having enough, I'll figure that out at that point. I'll burn that bridge when I come to it. I just finished off the last row of nap time. This is how much red I have left. So I'll get at least 1 row. We'll see, maybe I'll get 2. We'll see.
As if he had never heard of the restaurant
Yeah,
before?
yeah. There's one like 5 miles from us.
Right.
We'd never been there. And he was like, when we got there.
Okay, I just tried to finish the last row. And it was so close. So I'm gonna take out the last 2 rows and just do it a little bit tighter and see if that gets me enough yarn.
I think that these are mixed up.
Alright, I finished off the 3rd row with this much yarn. Nap time. Do not disturb. Alright, so now that my tapestry is done, I just need to do the border. So I'm going to attempt to use this white to do the border. And there's not much here, as you can tell. So I'm going to do a border that takes the least amount of yarn by doing single crochets alternating with chains. It's like skipping a space and doing a chain, single crochet, skip a space, single crochet, you know, just to do a simple border, but just something. And I think if I have enough white, it'll be good to pull in this white border here. If not, it looks, I'm fine with it being like this. I'm not going to do any adjustments like I did on the other ones to fix up letters or any of the lines, because I like that it looks really funny like this. So let's hope I have enough yarn to win Yarn Chicken again. I finished the border and I had just enough yarn again. It's upside down. Finished the border, not so much yarn I had, so I got very close with it. This is the border I did, so it's just single crochets every other stitch with a chain in between. I think it works good. I will need to block it eventually, of course, but that is not going to be today. Maybe that'll be in another video, who knows, but it is not going to be today. I still need to do the ends, but that's for another day as well. That is not for today. So just to recap the 3 tapestries that we made. First one was this Do Not Disturb recording in progress. This is the widest one, I believe. It's just slightly wider than the green one. Second one I made is this pretty Visitors Welcome, Please Knock. This one's definitely my favorite because it's just pretty. It feels like a nice entry mat. And this one was almost as wide as the red and white one, but like a couple stitches shorter, and it's taller. And then the frog, which you guys know, of course, that we just finished. This one is definitely the most cursed, but I think it's pretty accurate for nap time. So Let me know in the comments which ones you guys liked, which one is your favorite, if you'd like to see me do any other tapestries. And again, I think I mentioned near the beginning of the video, like I'm still quite a beginner for tapestry crochet, but I learned most of what I know from Blondie Knot's video. So you should definitely check out her video if you're interested in starting tapestry crochet, because her video helped a lot. But you can also just mess around like me and learn how to do it as you go. That is everything for this week's video. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content as I post new videos here every week. And let me know in the comments which tapestry is your favorite. Bye guys.